Social media is a loaded term. There's so much in it. I mean, social deals with society. Social also deals with being egregious. Social also deals with a form of government. Social also deals with um, just different ways of societal comings and goings and societal dealings. This all fits into the term of social. Social has three or four definitions to it. The same is true with media. Media can either be an agency, it can either be a substance that's used in chemistry. The medium would be what it takes to make a new compound out of a pre-existing compound. Mediums can be placed in. A medium can also be one on the occult side who consults and acts, functions as an intermediary between the living and the dead. All of these things under the term media, which is plural for medium, and all of these things are actually at play in the social media world. And we can't throw out or dismiss any definition of either social or media that falls under the term, that falls under that definition. We can't just go with definition one if it just means to be a social creature, because we also would have to be organized as if we're content creators, etc. It wouldn't be enough to just have charisma. We would actually have to be very direct, and we would have to have a direction with our content, with our channel, with our page. We would have to have a goal. We would have to be headed somewhere, or at least it would have to have some semblance of order, because social also means an organization or a club. So organizations, you have organization, and you have organized, and you have organ. So it's in-house. What is the house? Cyberspace, social media, your computers, your phones. The medium, you can be speaking for the living and you can be speaking for the dead. You could be that kind of medium that's occult, and you have a lot of occultism. In fact, I've personally been able to be exposed to more occult information due to social media, because I wasn't going to any and everybody's library to search for something that I wouldn't even know to look for. But thanks to social media and thanks to how far the internet has expanded, all of these different things can be learned and picked up on, and all of these things can be seen and introduced. These things can be added as parts to a mental fortress of knowledge. But we didn't have that same access just 15 or 20 years ago, 25 years ago. It wasn't the same world at all. 25 years ago, we were dealing with dial-up. This is the new heaven and earth. This is a new heaven and new earth. Maybe not the, but definitely a new heaven and earth. Seeing that just 30 years ago, things are so much different between then and now. Social. Be organized like a social club, like an organization, like an entity, like a business, like a corporation. Be as organized as one, because you're on social media. If you're on social media, be social in that way. Be social also in having charisma, character, having personality. Whatever personality you have, just be the best of that. It doesn't have to be overly animated. It doesn't have to be overly dry or drab. Just be whatever you are, whoever you are, and probably more importantly, however you are. Be however you are. Whatever you think your best self is, whatever self you think you want to show in front of the whole world, whatever that side is, show that. Because again, if it's not just about, your charisma and the way you express yourself emotionally or whatever the case, these things are going to spill over into the whole societal framework of the entire populace, which is worldwide at this point. So now it's global. It's going to affect you. You can be seen almost any and everywhere. So that's what you have to think about. Even if you're just looking into your camera, you have to imagine that you're speaking in front of an audience of millions and be comfortable with that, because that's where it can potentially go if it goes viral. And even if it doesn't, you still want to have that kind of presence where your energy is fresh for whoever looks at it now, whoever looks at it later. All of these things go into social media and social media, because we're go-betweens. We're a go-between between possibly society and the news, between society and the government, between society and religion, whatever us as content creators, whatever our content is, we would function as a go-between society and that. See, being a content creator, it makes you someone in society, but it makes you a little bit more than a citizen, technologically speaking, because you're something else. You become a go-between. You're part of the social media machine. So you're part of the medium. You're part of the go-between. You're part of the dividing line. You're the intermediary. You're doing the mediation. You're putting yourself in a position of mediator between society and whatever kind of content you produce. You will be standing in the gap between those two things. What I aim to do is to be an intermediary between society and a true sense of individual power. If that is already felt within whatever individual checks out this material, then it would only just serve to encourage that and promote that even more, and to congratulate them for being in that particular energy if it's beneficial for them. But if they're not, then we're glad to introduce that and be that medium between them as society and the thought form that I represent, being a transmuter of various forms of knowledge for the sake of empowering the human unit.